welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Pogo Man. That is Pogo Man. He's driving the M103 on an assault battle on the Siegfried line. And the allied team is defending. So immediately Pogo Man is going to be heading to this northern flank. Normally I would have stopped just a few seconds before and not come up to this second ridge here. Just because you could normally catch out a lot of tanks making a dash over this ridge here where this AMX-12T is, and you get some good shots and the ability to pick them off from range from the ridge just over there, sort of more like around about this location, sort of C9. But with the excellent frontal turret armor of the M103, Pogo Man's more than confident of being able to take this ridge with his gun depression, pop over the top and have a shot at people. If you've got a tank that doesn't have the gun depression, doesn't have the turret armor, then definitely you can sit back on that second ridge line and get some good shots at people as they come across. The problem is though, you are dependent on the enemy actually taking this position, actually coming over here and trying to push through this location. As you can see, the enemy's kind of, the opposition team's kind of neglected this northern flank almost entirely, most of them pushing for the centre and that southern flank. So if you had been sat up there where the other M103 and that Jagdtiger are, then you would have been left sorely lacking, unfortunately, with nobody to shoot at. Gets a beautiful hit on the side of that E75 and notices that the IS-8 is pushing around. You can see those shots coming in from the second ridge there. The IS-8 not really knowing what's hit him. Pogo Man just rushing his shot there because he doesn't want to come all the way over, as that Waffenträger E100 is over there along with that Tortoise. So just rushed his shot and unfortunately bounced it on the top of that IS-8 just there. Although he has spotted out the Waffenträger now, who is far too close for his own good, gets himself tracked, and now he's just going to be an absolute sitting duck there. Takes a hit from the Tortoise, but it looks like the AMX-12T actually takes out the Waffenträger, so that's a good job from him, able to pick up that kill. And there's still a Tortoise left on that northern flank, but with the speed and mobility of the Tortoise, guessing it's a fair assumption that he's not really going to be pushing. That Tortoise is probably just going to sit in A4 for the entirety of the game now. So just deciding to leave him to his own devices and transition back to the center of the map. As you can see, that Tortoise still not budged an inch. Although it looks like he's kind of a difficult shot, not quite able to put one through him there. That's just because of the formidable armor of that Tortoise at this range. Definitely not able to sneak easy shots through his armor. Gets a good hit on him there and he backs off even more. Fades away into the fog of war, so I'm not going to be able to pick up anything else on him. But it looks like the enemy team is pushing pretty heavily in the south now. The allied team has come in to meet them there and they've drawn the battle lines across. Takes a hit in the side, probably from that Tortoise in the distance there, but just not letting that phase him and going to continue on. Bounces a shot from the T-54 and just going to try and close him down now. T-54 on a decent amount of hit points. And Pogo Man not wanting to push all the way around the corner by himself, not really knowing who is going to be here waiting for him. Finds an enemy E75 here and gets a great shot through his sidearm. You can see the enemy team scattering to the wind there as they've got enemies in front of them, and now Pogo Man coming up alongside him and kind of got them hemmed in here. Enemy tanks having a look around to see who they can see. Got another E75 to square off against in front here. Got to play it carefully because that E75, as you may have seen, is a tanky beast. It's pretty difficult to penetrate and get any damage on, but Pogo Man takes his time and gets one nicely through the underplate. Sets himself up in a side-scraping position, so Pogo Man just switches up to that commander's hatch and gets another good chunk of damage through him. Still hasn't taken any damage himself. Wants to try and work down that E75, but when an ST1 presents full side armor to you, then that is an opportunity that you really want to take. And he picks himself up kill number 2 there. Finds an M103 in the distance. Not really well, that guy isn't AFK because that's not where he spawns, but it doesn't look like he's trying to preserve his own life in any kind of way. Allied ST1 has pushed heavily through into their lines now. The game's still fairly even at 8 kills to 8, But it looks like the Allied team has the enemy on the back foot at the moment. Going to come around the corner and help with this M103 that the ST-1 is dueling with. The ST-1's got his full attention, so Pogo Man should just be able to pick out his shots and take him out at his leisure. Unfortunately, rushing that shot just a little bit and bouncing it off the engine deck, so a very bit of bad luck there from Pogo Man. Going to take his time with this shot, and that one absolutely did not bounce, and he's able to pick up kill number 3. Going to try and close down the M103 in the distance here, and once he's fallen, it's going to be a job of just play clean up. You can see there's a T-54 appears on the mini-map in the background there. Got to be careful it doesn't take any damage in the rear. It takes a little bit through the side there. But this T-54 has really got nowhere to run. If that ST-1 can drop back a little bit and cover off the T-54's retreat, which it looks like he's doing. The T-54 is reversing out of there, but he's going to reverse square into that ST-1, who puts a shot through his side armor, and he gets taken out in short order. And that just leaves a Jagdtiger and a Tortoise. I think they're both up in the northern location there. So we'll just speed this one up a little bit. Jagdtiger actually in the center of the map. Not sure where he's going, but wherever it is, he's going to take some damage with him as he gets shot in the face there. Taking hits from all directions there. Pogo Man just pops himself out and respots him. Going to aim for his lower plate there, which he's able to penetrate nicely at that range and pick up a nice bit of damage on him. Going to push forwards. He knows the Tortoise is still going to probably be an A1 or A2 after the little retreat that he had earlier on. So now just going to go and try and close down the Jagdtiger, but the T-54 takes him out. And now it's just a case of finding this Tortoise, and the smart money, like I said, will be on A1 and A2. And there he is, still not moved from his position. And the Allied team is able to work him down, no problem whatsoever, and that is GG and the game. So absolutely awesome replay there from Pogo Man, picking himself up 3 kills and a fantastic 5,500 points of damage. So stick around, because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user, bear with me while I butcher the pronunciation of your name, Spichopat, or Spicopat, and he's driving the WZ-131 on another assault battle, this time on Erlenberg. I think we're just going to call this guy Pat from now on. So WZ-131 is a tier 7 light tank for the Chinese. This thing should be driven a lot more like a medium tank though than a light tank, although it doesn't have the armor or the hit points to back up its medium credentials. It definitely does have the gun to do that, so this one driven a lot more like an assault tank rather than a scout and a spotter. It's got some fantastic speed and maneuverability, as you can see, though, making it all the way over to the left-hand flank well before any of his allies get here, and quite a long time before any of his opponents as well, as he gets here up on the ridge and hasn't seen a single person yet. And there we go, spots out the WZ-131, is that, of his enemy there? So spotting out his counterpart and getting a good hit on him, and as he drops back from the ridgeline, he's going to be hitting some fire from a few different sources. So Pat's going to be cresting the hill again just to try and get another spot on him, not quite able to get a second bit of damage. But the artillery finally comes in and finishes him off. Artillery always likes to take down the light tanks just because, one, they're the tanks most likely to get to you and kill you in battle, and also they're a guaranteed penetrating hit basically thanks to the very, very thin armor. So I'm going to be squaring off against the STA-1 here, which is a tier 8 medium tank, so I'm going to have to play this one carefully. As one-on-one, the STA is going to be more than a match for the WZ-131, but it looks like Pat's allies have turned up now, and a few people are going to be getting hits on him. The artillery is the hero once again, lands a massive hit and sets fire to the STA-1, takes him out, and with the flank cleared, that gives Pat the opportunity to head off and do what light tanks do best. So we're going to be sitting on the ridge line here, going to see if we can find out any of the enemy team. It looks like this is pretty much everybody from this flank dealt with now. So the guys on the left-hand flank kind of just have to hold out, while these guys on the right-hand flank are going to come in and try and flank around the sides of them. Finds a Panzer Soufflé here. I'm going to be just carouseling nicely around him. Reloading his cannon there. Got caught a little bit short and was able to get a good hit though on the Panzer Soufflé and get behind the rocks, and he's given far too much attention to this light tank and he just gets taken out there, no problem whatsoever. Finds an AFK IS-3 here, so we're going to take the opportunity to just get some free damage on him. Takes out his tracks just to be sure, as it looks like he is twitching his turret from side to side, so it looks like maybe not just the AFK, might be a bot as well. So just going to make sure that he can get as much free damage on him as he can, and indeed he's able to pick up a total of 775 damage on that AFK IS-3. Now it's going to be a case of just find and hunt down the artillery. Takes a little detour through that guy's house. Now going to try and find this Lorraine 155. Does see a super Pershing in the distance, but to be honest, there's not really very many tanks in this location, so that's going to give Pat the opportunity to just try and hunt down the artillery. As you can see, switches to high explosive ammunition as he wants to just try and guarantee a penetrating hit on that Lorraine 155, but he's only got a couple of high explosive rounds, so just switches back to regular AP, and this Lorraine 155 is running for his life. And the good thing about the French artillery is they are quick and they are maneuverable, so in a one-on-one race, it's going to be a bit difficult to try and catch the artillery. Does finally see him in the distance there. Unfortunate to get a 0 damage critical on him there. Just backs off so he's not too much of a big target himself. Finally lands a good hit on the Lorraine. Just needs one more to take this guy out, but he is running for the hills. Doesn't quite make it, and Pat's able to pick up his first kill of the match now on the enemy artillery. So just doing what a good light tank should do and harass the enemy artillery. Now it's a chance to push the advantage. They've got the enemy kind of sandwiched in from the front and from the back. Unfortunately, the forerunners of the enemy force, the ones who are supposedly pincered in from the front, are kind of pushing themselves. So going to have to try and deal with these guys here as quickly as possible and then go and relieve the pressure from the guys in the north. Is able to land some good damage onto this Tiger here. Just one more shot and he can pick up the kill, which he does. And now that leaves the Tiger P, Black Prince Caernarvon, and here is that Super Pershing. Disappeared for a while. Takes a little bit of damage from him, but this Super Pershing is not a quick machine, so just going to carousel around him and then make a run for it. Tries to land some shots on the Super Pershing as he runs away, but he's not quite able to land anything significant, as he's too busy trying to concentrate on keeping himself alive rather than landing damage on the Super Pershing, which is what you want to do with a light tank. Your number one priority is not to get shot and not necessarily to land damage yourself, as that is what your allies are for. Going to be coming and having the second crack at the Super Pershing. Takes another chunk of damage from him and decides to ditch right this time and use the building as cover. I'm going to try and give him the runaround, and the advantage of this tactic over the one that he used previously is it's going to draw the Super Pershing out onto the exposed ridge, and that's going to allow his allies to be able to shoot and do damage to him. Gets a good shot through the sidearm as Super Pershing fluffs his shot, and A44 turns up to lend a hand. Unfortunately, this Super Pershing is fairly tough from the front. He decides to switch targets now and go for this A44. But Pat comes at him from the side, drops down the ridge just to deny that shot on him there. Doesn't have the gun depression to be able to get any damage on him by the looks of it. And Pat just going to continue to back off and put consistent damage through his side armor here. And going to try and take out his tracks as he does so, just so that he's not able to go anywhere. And the two of them here, the A44 and the WZ-131 of Pat, going to work him down and able to take him out pretty damn convincingly there. So an excellent piece of dueling there. And now that just leaves this Caernarvon in the distance. KV5 closing him down, as is the 131 and this A44. Mervin's already fired now at this KV-5, but got to be careful because these British tanks do reload pretty damn quickly. And that's a fantastic shot to be able to take his tracks out and cripple his mobility. Doesn't quite land that shot there, not quite able to get any damage. Just notice that his turret is traversing pretty damn quickly, so just going to drop back behind the cover of the ridge here, just so he can't land any more damage. Going to crest the hill now, fired a little bit prematurely there, but it looks like that KV-5 is finally able to pick him up, and that is GG and the game. So absolutely awesome replay there from Spicopat, if that's how you pronounce your name, picking up a monster 3,500 points of damage in his WZ-131 light tank. So don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that's in the description. If you found this video entertaining, useful, informative, or whatnot, then definitely leave me a like, favourite, and stick a comment in the comment section below. Let me know exactly what you thought. And if you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button for a lot more World of Tanks content to come in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.